Don't do this. Alright guys, Papa Pepper back once again. Today I'm going to be talking about the proper way to hang on to an opossum. Some time ago I did a video called The Wild Man's Wild Friends where I talked about opossums and I shared a little bit about them. We encountered another one last December that I thought it would be worthwhile because a lot of these guys die because people kill them. Dogs will kill them, people will kill them. They've got a number of threats that they can pose. So besides the good beneficial things that they do for the ecosystem, there's a number of things that they do that are detrimental to people's property, people's animals, different stuff. So a lot of people do not like them. In both those videos, I kind of just grabbed one by the neck. One was kind of more around the actual muscle and bone of the neck. One was kind of more by the scruff of the neck. And a lot of people were talking about how ignorant I was for ever holding an opossum that way. Now, to tell you the truth, I'm much more comfortable with reptiles and amphibians than a lot of wild mammals. That doesn't mean I'm not going to pick them up. It doesn't mean I'm not going to interact with them. It doesn't mean I'm not going to check them out. Whoa! Boy. But it does mean that I have a certain wariness about them. So what people said is rather than scruffing them by the back of the neck, and they made some very interesting accusations. They said, it's not supposed to be picked up by the scruff of its neck. You're not its mama, and stuff like that. Like, when I wear a hoodie, I've never tried to put an opossum, North America's marsupial, into my pouch. You know, I'm not trying to be a mama to any of these guys, but I do think if people can take a better look at them and check them out a little bit, maybe they'll have a better appreciation for these animals. So this one's young, and it is doing a bit of trying to get away. Right now I'm just holding it by the tail here and letting it kind of rest on my arm. These guys are super furry. People have killed them just for the pelts. People have eaten them. I don't recommend doing either of those things. Oh, did it just wink? Did it just wink at you? Wow, that's cool too, because the one time I was hanging onto one by its neck, people were very concerned about how much discomfort it was in. Now I've held onto these before by the neck where they've kept their mouth closed and they're not drooling much. And you may wonder, what's the difference between an opossum and a possum? Well, the easiest difference to recognize is that the opossum has an O in front of its name. But the one time I held onto it by its neck, it had its mouth open and it was drooling a lot and people were very concerned. It actually comes from an Algonquin word from the natives here, which means a white animal. And as you can see, I mean, it's got a nice white face. Check them out, right? Now I'm going to tell you that I don't think that's because it was in pain. I mean, I could show you pictures of one sitting on a stump with its mouth open, drooling. I don't think it was in any pain there. You know, the stump that it was sitting on wasn't so uncomfortable, or it didn't have like a little stick by its private property that was hurting it or something that it caused it to open its mouth and drool. Okay, sometimes when my son sleeps, he opens his mouth and he drools. Doesn't mean he's in pain. What these guys do is they'll use it as a defense mechanism. They'll show off all those crazy teeth. I think they got the most of any mammal in North America. And they'll open their mouth and they'll drool. It's just part of their defense mechanism. These guys aren't aggressive. I'm not going to be walking outside one day and have one run across the yard from 20 feet away and jump up on me and start clawing me. Okay? So I did see a video though of a guy holding one by the neck, and that one I actually thought was making expressions of its discomfort, of its fear. I'm not saying it was in pain by any means, and I don't say anything mean about this guy or negative about this guy. I'm just saying that this opossum was interacting with him in a way that I've never had one interact with me, and was probably causing a much more cause for concern than anyone I've ever shown in any video.
Got him around the neck. Let's see.
So that said, if this is the proper way, they say grab it by the tail and let it rest on its forearm. It's 60 some degrees today. It's in December. I've got a shirt on and a long sleeve thick flannel and this big military jacket and gloves on. I wanted to have sunglasses on to protect my eyes, but I also wanted to see this guy more. If you see, its nose is quivering a little bit, okay? I'm not gonna make this video super long, but even right now, it's expressing a certain amount of fear, okay? I'll tell you what, to trap this one in a live trap and to take it for a drive for 20 minutes and to go let it go in the wild, that's going to cause it some stress. It's going to cause it some discomfort, and it's going to cause it to have a certain level of anxiety or fear or things like that anyway. To me, that's a better option than just putting a bullet in its head. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. I would much rather relocate these guys because I don't want them in my poultry pens. I don't want my dogs to get in a fight with them. Other negative things that they can do besides all the benefits. So I give them a chance to live another day. Winked again. See, I give it a chance to live another day, and it winked at you guys. So we're going to take this one for a ride, but I think just to pause it for an extra 5 minutes and let it just kind of see you guys, let you guys see it, okay? And be able to send it on its way. If it can save the lives of some other ones by educating some people, I'm about that. Even the last video, I don't apologize for grabbing one by the neck for 10 minutes and just having it, you know, sharing some facts. I like to show that the work I do is original, that these are actual animals, that, you know, I'm taking the video, I'm not just grabbing a bunch of random photos and videos of other people's stuff on the internet and then trying to share it online as my own work or trying to make money off it or things like that. It's just not the way that I am, so I like to show the originality of my work. That's why I'm here with it. Winked at you again. Maybe it's got something in its right eye. But we're gonna go let this one go. But like I said, by sharing some things about it last time, a lot of people said they're done killing them. To me, that's good news. That's good news for these guys. And if one goes through a little bit of, oh, I was kind of afraid. I don't think it was ever in pain, honestly. But if it was a little afraid, you know, this one, I think its nose isn't even wiggling like it was before. It's definitely much more comfortable. It winked again, I think, right there. But, you know, it's still, this is not its native environment, not its natural environment. Here you can keep them as pets. I could have up to 6 of these as pets. I'm not going to do that, but I do think they're pretty cool animals. I definitely do enjoy them. And honestly, some people just said I need more experience with them so I can treat them nicer. I think that's what I'm doing right now, technically. I mean, my hand's resting on the tail, but I'm not even grabbing it. Whoa, sorry. I bumped its tail again so it opened its mouth. But I mean, you know, maybe it is. Maybe it's just that I haven't interacted with them much. And maybe this is a more proper way to hold an opossum. That said, don't do this. Don't do this at home. These are wild creatures. They can pose threats. They can be dangerous. Stuff can happen. So leave them in the wild. If you got them on your property and you don't want them there, please consider relocating them if that's legal in your area. Here, it's allowed. It's legal. But if it's legal in your area, consider relocating them or having somebody help you do that. All right, Papa and Possum out.